This call is being recorded.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and start the call. As you guys know, I always love to start my calls off with a quote, something that usually touches me. The one that I'm going to use this week to start off with, it's not what you say out of your mouth that determines your life. It's what you whisper to yourself that has the most power, and that's Robert Kiyosaki. I want to go ahead and thank everyone for taking the time to come on this call. There's one more quote that I'd like to share that I heard yesterday while I was at church. My pastor said this, and it really kind of stuck with me. And it's when no one can tell you anything, your only teacher then becomes pain. And that's my pastor, Bishop Bronner. And so many of us have gone through life. I know I have, where I wasn't open, I wasn't teachable, I didn't allow anyone to tell me anything. I just felt like I knew it all. And trust me, my teacher was pain. I experienced a whole lot of pain. And, just over the years, I've learned to wisen up and to always remain coachable, always remain teachable. Like I said, I want to thank everyone for coming on the call. We have nothing but leaders, future leaders, and future world changers on this call, and it's just amazing to have everyone here on this call. It's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity for me to do these calls for you because I learned so much just from studying and preparing myself to be able to do these calls, and just the interaction that I have with you guys throughout the week is just really amazing. You'd be amazed at the amount that I learned just from talking with the different people that come on these calls throughout the week. I think last week I probably talked to about 10 or 15 people. I just want to kind of shout out a few of the people that I talked to, and if I didn't mention your name, I apologize. But I want to thank Joshua, Kenya, Larissa, Pearl, Elgin, Eric, and everybody else that I had an opportunity to talk with last week. Like I said, when I talk to you guys, it's definitely not a one-sided conversation. I learned so much. One of the people that come on this call, Joshua, me and him was out by 5 points. I want to say it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, and we probably just walked for about 3 or 4 miles. That's my new thing now. So if I meet with you, more than likely I'm going to ask you to walk with me because I try to walk at least 5 miles every single day. And we had a phenomenal conversation, for at least about a good hour and a half while we walked up and down through 5 points. Like I said, it's too many people for me to list that I talked to last week, but I definitely got something out of everyone that I talked to, and I appreciate it. I'm just going to make a couple quick announcements before we go ahead and get started with the call. For those that missed the call, like if you know someone that didn't get on, because the system that we have right now only allows 100 people in, and I'm pretty much all 100 of those slots are filled. So the playback number, and the playback should be available by tomorrow afternoon. The playback number is 718-867-6700. I'll also have it on my Facebook page, and I'll have a download link for anyone that wants to actually download the recording and listen to it that way on the computer or on their smartphone. We have a power and a half-hour Facebook group. If you're not a part of that, try to look for that or send me a message, and I'll add you to the group. There's something that I want to use the group for or do with the group between now and the end of the year, and I'll kind of touch into it a little bit later, but I definitely want everyone, if you're not a part of that group already, go ahead and add yourself. Make sure you get added to that group because really it's going to be like our accountability group. It's going to be our group where we share information with others, with everyone that's on these calls, with other like-minded individuals, which is everyone that really just wants to make a better life for themselves. So please make sure that you add yourself to that group or send me, if you can't find it, send me a message. My name on Facebook, if we're not friends already, is Mark Starr. That's MarkStarr. Find me, make sure that you add me as a friend on Facebook. Let me see. If you're not a part of a book club, make sure you join A Lady Named Pearl book club. It's a phenomenal book club, and this month coming up, we're going to be reading Psycho Cybernetics. That is a life-changing book. I mean, I have probably over 1,000 books at my house, and that book is probably in my top 3. I promise you. If you don't read any other book, read that book. I mean, that is just a really phenomenal book. I can't even stress how much I've gotten out of that, how much that book has changed my life. And that's going to be the book for November with a lady named Pearl Book Club. So if you're not a part of a book club, if you're not reading, please go ahead and join that club. Like I said, if you can't find it, go ahead and send me a message, and I'll go ahead and add you in the club. The last reminder for today is if you're not a part of Be Better Daily, text Be Better, BETTERDAILY to 411247. It's just a message service that I started up a little bit over a year ago, and every morning we send out a positive message, either a success story, an affirmation, something positive. You know, many of us go the whole day and don't get any kind of positive information. We just hear negative all day. So it's kind of my way of giving back. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is opt in. And it's kind of my way of giving back, making sure that you hear at least one positive thing throughout the day. So that's all of our announcements. So let me go ahead and get started. So as we come into November, we come into a time that we get an opportunity to spend with our family and our friends. Although that's great, we can enjoy this time with loved ones, and a lot of people allow stress to get to them at this time of the year. This is also the time of the year that most people postpone their dreams until next year. It's almost like we throw in the towel with 8 minutes left in the game. I don't care what the score is. As long as you don't give up, you have an opportunity to win. We're only in November. The year isn't over yet. And it's just amazing how many people end up saying, you know, they didn't accomplish what it is that they set out to accomplish for the year. And they say, man, you know what? I'm going to save it for my New Year's resolution. Not this year. Group, we're not doing that this year. It's not about how many more things we can add to our plate. It's about us being able to say no to the things that don't bring us any closer to our ultimate goals. So really and truly, you know, we end up taking on so much responsibility towards the end of the year, just, you know, commitments to family, to friends, and to all kinds of other people. And, you know, and that's all well and dandy. I don't want you to sit there and tell everybody no, but we still have to remember that we need to be working towards accomplishing whatever it is that we need to accomplish. So here are 5 things that I came up with that we need to say no to in November. I kind of got the inspiration from this from a post that my sister-in-law posted on Facebook. She always posts something really great. So anyway, the first thing is no quitting or giving up. Just like I said earlier, we got 2 months left in the year. Everyone's going to finish the year strong. How you finish this year is how you go into next year. So when you go ahead and quit in November or quit in December, then now you have to start over again from scratch. Let's go ahead, regardless of whether or not we're able to accomplish everything that we want to accomplish for 2014. If we keep that momentum going, then we're going to go into 2015 very strong. And that's what happens with a lot of people. It's like, you know, if you're pushing a car down a hill, then it's easier for that car to kind of get going down that hill. But then now, if that car is just standing still and you're just trying to push that car, it's going to be that much harder. So let's try to finish this year out. I'm telling you, it's just so amazing. And really, I never thought about this like this before, but as I kind of put a little thought into this, I was like, wow, it really is amazing how many people just kind of almost end up quitting. That's just like your favorite football team or your favorite basketball team. There's like 8 minutes left, and they might be down 10 points. You know, anyone that saw the finals maybe 2 years ago when my team, the Miami Heat, was playing, there was a game that I want to say they had about 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. And I want to say it was maybe game 6. This wasn't last year. This is the year before last. And it looked like they were out, that it was over with, it was done. I mean, I was so upset that I turned my TV off downstairs, and I started to go, and I said, you know what, I turned off all the lights and everything, and I went upstairs, and I was like, man, and I was just cursing them out and everything, and something told me to turn the TV back on. I mean, I would have bet at that point in time the game was over. And guess what? They came back. That's when Ray Allen made that shot, LeBron did his thing, and they ended up winning the whole series. If they would have given up, and there was probably only about 2 minutes left, and it really looked like they had no chance to win. If they would have given up, that would have been it. They wouldn't have won that world championship. We got to fight to the end. It's not over until the fat lady sings. It's only November. We still have 2 months to accomplish so much more. So don't give up. All right. The next thing is no excuses. Excuses are the nails that to build a house of failure. These are some of the excuses that we're going to give up. No more I can't. No more I don't have time. No more I am too tired. No more I can't afford it. No more I wish I had willpower. Because excuses are for people that don't want it bad enough. Anytime I hear someone making all kinds of excuses, you know what that tells me? You just don't want it bad enough. Because we can all sit here and come up with excuses all day long. But let me tell you something. When you want it bad enough, there's no excuse that's going to hold you back from what it is that you're trying to accomplish. There is no excuse that can hold you back from what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So let's just take all these I can't, no, and all this stuff out of our vocabulary. We're not using any more excuses. Number 3 is no regrets. We're going to live life on our terms. Now, I'm not going to jump all the way into this one because we still have a lot more to cover. But this is our life. And it's just amazing to me how many people just have almost accepted that this is just going to be a horrible life for them. Now, we're going to live life with no regrets. We're going to do everything it is that we want to do. So no more regrets. Number 4 is no blaming others. God, this is such a huge one. And like I said, when I go into Coach Mark's lessons on life, I'm going to probably delve into this one a little bit more. But, you know, when we sit down and we blame others, now it's for that. Now the situation can't change until that person allows it to change. It's never anybody else's fault. It's never anybody else's fault. We always have to look inside the mirror. Because even if we have somebody in our life that's causing us strife, remember now, we're the ones that accepted that person into our life. It's never anybody else's fault. All right, and number 5 is no thoughts that weaken us, no self-hate, and no negativity. I mean, and that's pretty much explanatory. And it's just so amazing to me sometimes how much people sit there and just dwell on negative thoughts and just really don't like themselves. And we need to start figuring out how we can start loving ourselves. Because once we start loving ourselves and having belief in ourselves, there's nothing that we can't accomplish. Okay, so now I want to go into Coach Mark's either LOL, lessons on life, laws of life, whatever you want to call it. I initially said that I was going to do 7, but for the sake of time, because I think we only have about 10 minutes left before I open it up for questions, I'm only going to do 5, maybe 6, you know, and I'll probably do this segment maybe like once a month because I've always come up with different laws on life, different lessons on life. They might be the same ones, but I might explain it a little bit differently. We're all growing, so the way that I feel about this now, I'm gonna have some experiences next week and the week after and next month that's gonna help me to add on to these. So if you hear me saying, "Hey, I'm doing Coach Mark's Listen On," it's not gonna be the exact same thing. It's gonna be something different that will probably touch you a little bit different. Anyway, let me go ahead and get started. So number 1, everything that happens in life happens for our good. And I know you guys have heard me say this before. But when you really, truly believe this and embrace this, then life really just almost becomes magical. You know, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I just, a couple nights ago, one of my business partners, and I was out doing my walking, and we were on the phone. We were only supposed to be on the phone for 5 minutes, but I kept him on the phone for about an hour and a half because I was walking really late at night, and I wanted to make sure I had someone on the phone with me while I was walking. And I was just really and we just kind of went into this about how amazing life is when you stop looking at everything that happens as being bad. I had a conversation today. I went to I did my walk-in earlier this morning so I could do this call tonight, and I ended up going into a gym that's just opening up at the Kroger down the street from my house. And I was talking with the owner, and I was just telling him a little bit about what I do and how I do these calls and whatnot. And he was just so amazed about how I felt on this principle because he was like, he instinctively has been an optimist. And I said, what it is that you're inverse paranoid. And that's how we all have to live life. We have to go out and look that life, everything out here is for our own good. That everyone out here is looking to do us good. It's so amazing how many people sit out there and think that, man, this person's shady, that person's shady, this person wants to do me harm, that person wants to do me harm. And as long as we keep those thoughts, that's exactly what's going to end up coming into our lives. So now we need to turn around and start looking at life like, you know what, this person wants everything that happens in our life is happening for our good. And when we start processing the information like that, that's when life becomes magical, because then now nothing bad is ever happening to you. I always say everything in life is either a lesson or a blessing, and when your perspective is right, the lessons become blessings. It's amazing. I was talking to one of my friends a little earlier, and she was telling me how she was on the way to one of her jobs this evening, and she ended up going to the wrong location. And then by the time she turned around, and then she ended up wasting a little bit of time, and when she ended up turning around and going back in the direction that she should have gone, she realized that there was a really bad accident. So there was a purpose in her going to the wrong location. She quite possibly could have saved her life, because it ended up being a really bad accident. And once we understand this and realize that everything that happens is happening for our good, there is no good or bad in life. This is all how we process it. We have to come from the standpoint that everything that happens, every thought that we have, we need to make sure that we look at everything in a way that serves us. Because if it's not serving us, it's not doing us any good. I can sit here and think that everybody outside is out to get me. How is that serving me? That's not serving me at all. Because then now all I'm thinking about is negative, 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 negative. And that's all I'm attracting into my life, is just more and more negative. You see what I'm saying? So I choose to not look at life like that. I choose to look at life that everything that's happening is just for my good. That way of thinking serves me better, because that keeps my mind and my thoughts positive. And this is my movie. I don't care what anybody else says. This is my movie. This is my life. This is my movie. I'm going to script it the way that I want to script it. Okay, the second thing is that it's never anyone else's fault. I kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, but if it's their fault, only they can correct the problem. And you can only fix something that you know is broke. So now instead of me sitting there thinking, man, you know, this person did me wrong or that person did me wrong, I start to look at what's wrong with me. Because even if that person did do something that was negative, guess what? Guess who attracted them into their life? I did. You see what I'm saying? So if I sit here and I'm always blaming everybody else, if it's always everybody else's fault, then I can never, ever have the opportunity to fix what's going on in my life. And it's like I'm driving down the street with a flat tire and I can't understand why my car isn't going the speed that it needs to go. Because in my mind, I don't think anything is wrong. But obviously so, because I can't drive at the right speed. So we need to get to a point where we realize that, hey, you know what? We push away the blame and we start to look within ourselves. How can we make ourselves better? If we're not attracting the right people in our lives, guess what? It's not their fault. It's our fault, because we're not attracting the right people in our lives. We're not the right people. Once we become the right people, we'll be able to attract all the right people into our lives. It's just so magical. Like almost every single day I meet somebody amazing. And I realize it's because I'm becoming the right person. I don't meet garbage people in my life anymore, because I am not a garbage person anymore. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I'm human. I have days that I mess up. But for the most part, I'm not a garbage person. So I attract in great people into my life. The third one, when you try to skip the test, you have to repeat the class. This is such a huge one. I want to kind of tell you guys this quick story. I don't know the age range of everyone that's on this call, But I remember in about 1985, I was 10 years old. For Christmas, my dad bought me and my brothers Nintendo. And it was when Nintendo first came out. We were the first kids in our neighborhood to have it. First year that it came out. And there was this game called Super Mario Brothers. And with Super Mario Brothers, man, when I tell you, me and my brothers, we played that game every day, all day, all night, all day, all night. And as we played it, we learned that there were cheat codes. So there was 8 levels in Super Mario Brothers, and you had to get to the end of each level. Once you get to the end, you go to level 2. You go through level 2, then you go to level 3, and so on. But there was a way. There were these cheat codes that if you learned them, you can skip from level 1 and then go to level 4. And then go from level 4 and go to level 8. But guess what happens when you get to the end of level 1 and you skip to level 4? You never ever pass level 4 because there were definite tips and techniques that you needed to learn on level 2 and 3. And so many of us, it's like we wanted to skip through life, and we just want to go all the way to the top. And it just doesn't work like that. Because even when you do get an opportunity to go to the top, you end up losing it. That's why 70% of people that end up winning the lottery or receive a large sum of money, they end up losing all the money. Because they got an opportunity to skip to the top, but they didn't learn everything that they needed to learn to be able to handle that money. And that's exactly how life works the same way. So with that, we need to embrace all the stuff that we're going through. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying in the first part. We need to embrace everything that we're going through, even all the hard times, because all those hard times prepare us for what's greater that's out there. But if we skip the hard times and just go straight to the great times, then we don't get to stay at the top for a long period of time. Man, I could go into this. I could talk about this one right here for about a year, but I have about 1 or 2 minutes left, so I'm going to just skip down to number 4. We're not even going to get through number 5, but I'm going to skip to number 4. If you ordered it, it's out on delivery. Now, when I was a little kid, I remember we would order something, or even as a grown-up now, I order something, I'll go to the FedEx or the UPS and I'm tracking it. And guess what? It's no need for me to be sad because I've tracked it and it says what? Out for delivery, out on truck for delivery. And we have to understand that there's no need for us to, as long as we put our order in. And what putting our order in means, we went ahead and did ask for whatever it is that we want and did what we needed to do to be able to get that. And once we put the order in, and we put the work in towards getting whatever it is that we want, we know it's out for delivery. We know that we're going to get it. We know it's there for us. Like me and one of my really good friends, Hazik, we set humongous goals. One of our goals is that we're gonna win a Nobel Peace Prize in 7 years. And we know that that's coming for us. We know it's on the UPS truck. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. Once you put that work in, once you put that order in, it's never a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. Now I'm going to cut it off at that. I have to finish the other 3 the next time. I want to go ahead and take some questions. If you have a question and you want to make a comment, please hit ***. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Hit ***.
Mark.
Yes.
Hello. Yo, Paul.
Hello?
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh, we have 2 people talking. Just one person? Go ahead.
Hey, Mark, it's Sadiq.
Hey, Sadiq, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Salute, my brother. I just wanted to say great information. This is my first time hopping on, but for all those listening, Mark has been a great, friend, big brother to me, and has been truly inspirational, Mark. So I just wanted to say salute, man. I really appreciate everything that you're doing on these calls. So.
Thank you, Sadiq, man. I really appreciate you, man. And Sadiq is part of my motor. I guess whoever that has all that noise, if you can mute yourself back. But Sadiq has been really inspiring to me as well because me and his brother put him onto some information on how to write a book. Well, guess what? Sadiq wrote the book. We didn't write our book yet. So, I mean, Sadiq is really inspiring to us. And every time me and his brother talk, we're like, wow, how we let Sadiq come out with his book first and we didn't. But great job, Sadiq. You guys check out his book. It's called Millionaire Manners. He's a really awesome guy. Anybody else has a comment or a question or want to say anything before we go ahead and close out the call?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Mark, what's going on? It's Stephen Walker in Tallahassee, Florida.
Hey, Stephen, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, I had to tune in. I really liked a lot of things you were saying, very informative. And like I said, if it's about business, if it's about motivation, if it's about us black people achieving, I'm with it. I'm there every time.
Awesome. Well, we have a wide range of callers on here. We have all kinds of people, and that's what it's all about because you know what, at the end of the day, we all come from the same source. And we got today's been awesome because I had people reaching out to me from Vietnam. I had people reaching out to me from London. I had one guy reach out to me from Pakistan, and man, I accept and embrace everybody that comes on this call because like I said, we all come from the same source. We all just have a little different coloring, but we all from this. But thanks, I appreciate that, Stephen. Anybody else before we go ahead and cut it off?
One last word, Mark.
Yes, sir.
One last word. Okay, we definitely want to see some YouTube videos from you. Definitely want to see that. Okay. That's it.
All right. All right. Definitely. I got to get on my video game. Okay, keep me notified when. All right, that's it. I'm done. I definitely will, Stephen. And me and you got to talk this week anyway, so make sure you reach out to me. We got to talk. Anybody else have anything? Anybody else have anything?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Jamila. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. I just wanted to say that this is my first time ever, tuning in. So I seen it on Instagram, so I decided to just call in because I had nothing else to do tonight. So why not get positive words? But
awesome.
I really like the idea of the 5 things to say no to for November because, I am a person who actually does that. I'll get to November and be like, well, I didn't accomplish it, so I'm just going to wait until next year and just push it off and, start fresh in January. But you're right, though. We still do have a full 2 months to accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish. And I think the one that I love the most about that is number 5, about loving yourself and believing in who you are as a person, because that really makes a difference on how you view your accomplishment. If you can love yourself, you don't have to worry about judging yourself compared to other people. So I'm just thankful that you said that today, and I'll be able to share all the information with my friends at school tomorrow. So.
Awesome. And tell them to jump on this call next week as well. As a matter of fact, we have the playback number, so they're going to be able to call and listen to it as well. Does anybody else have anything? But thank you for calling. Thank you for calling in, Jamila. Does anybody else have anything?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
I'm Leon Palmer from Macon, Georgia, and this is my first time tuning in. I just like to know that you do this every Monday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I really enjoy everything that I heard, and man, I would love to hear more, and I will be tuning in every Monday, man.
Awesome. Make sure you add me as a friend on Facebook if we're not friends already. It's Mark and then Starr, Starr. Me and my partner are going to be coming down to Macon probably at the beginning of the year. We're going to be doing a tour and doing these type of talks all throughout the southeast of the United States. So definitely let's connect so that when we do come down to Macon, you can show us around. You can show us some love. All right?
Okay.
Well,
Hi,
awesome, man. Thanks for coming to call. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, so sorry. I just wanted to know where I could go to find out more about you because I've heard you several times, and I just wanted to kind of know your background, a little history about who you are. and your story.
Are we friends on Facebook?
Not yet.
Okay, well, find me on Facebook and send me a message. My name on Facebook is Mark, and then it's Starr, Mark Starr.
Got it. Okay, I'll friend you on Facebook.
What's your name?
Okay, Rashida Abdullah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm gonna be looking for that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, great.
Information.
Okay, so like I said, you guys find me on Facebook. Look for the Power in a Half Hour group on Facebook. What else? The playback number is going to be 718-867-6700. I want you guys, if you guys got some value from this call and if you thought it was some really good information, please share it with at least 3 people. We know 3 people that need to hear this information, that it could really possibly change their lives. So please share it. Now, I'm going to end with this quote. We're about a minute over, but I really want to say this quote because this was a really quote or saying or whatever that was really life-changing to me. But here's a very powerful insight. See everything that happens in your life as being for your best interest. Consider this. Anything that annoys you is for teaching you patience. Anyone that abandons you is for teaching you how to stand up on your own 2 feet. Anything that angers you is for teaching you forgiveness and compassion. Anything that has power over you is for teaching you how to take your power back. Anything you hate is for teaching you unconditional love. Anything you fear is for teaching you courage and to overcome your fears. Anything you can't control is for teaching you how to let go and to trust God and the universe. Thank you guys for listening on this call, and I will see you next week, Monday. Have a phenomenal week. I love you all.